him shoot. He skulks around in secret and he gets the best of you. And when you die you rage and cry and curse his padded shoes. Roll up and see the amazing spinning, sniping 10-year-old. He's got more revs per minute than the disc in his console. Take care when laughing at his spinning choreography, for he plays real life on 14 sensitivity. It's the Call of Duty circus and it's coming to your town. With diving, flying acrobats and such capricious clowns. So hook up to a server, grab a seat and gather round. It's the Call of Duty circus is coming to your town. Hunted by the cruel Decepticons. The slaughter is directed by the evil Megatron. This metal robot talent only has one equal foe. So ready up your battle cry, it's time to let them know. Autobots, transform. Roll out, we gonna blow these stinking cons away. Roll out, we're making a bigger mess than Michael Bay. Roll out, they're gonna pay for tearing up our home. Roll out, pedal to metal, time to kick some chrome. Ooh, Starscream is an idiot and Swindle is a phony. Grimlock's gonna squash you to beryllium baloney. Bruticus got Roy in rage, metal muscle flex, but he's weaker than a Witwicky compared to Metro X. Jazz is kinda ghetto cause you gotta hit that market. We're piloting the yacht but we got nowhere left to pocket. Set a course for the stars, gotta leave the wall behind. Roll out to the cosmos, let's see what we will find. Roll out, we're gonna blow these stinking cons away. Roll out, we're making a bigger mess than Michael Bay. Roll out, they're gonna pay for tearing up our home. Roll out, pedal to metal, time to kick some chrome. my brothers three. As a boy I learned through a burning world that nothing ever comes for free. As soon as I could hold a gun now, I was out on the killing fields, fighting in the war to save my home from a foe that will never yield. But we won't stop because we're brothers in blood now. We'll meet again now at the end of the line. Try not to think about what fate throws before me. Reporting for duty, sir. What's your name, son? Robert Clay Carmine. You're a killer, son. Robert Clay Carmine. You're here now, son. Boy, get your head down. Boy, get your head down. Boy, get your head down. You're here now, son. On a cold and cruel morning, under a burning sky, my brother Ram took a bullet to the head, never even got to say goodbye. The very next year, as the battle raged, got a letter from my brother Ben, signed by a Sergeant Phoenix. I knew I'd never see him again, no. But we won't stop because we're brothers in blood now. We'll meet again now at the end of the line. Try not to think about what fate throws before me. Reporting for duty, sir. What's your name, son? Private Clay Carmine. You're a killer, son. Private Clay Carmine. You're here now, son. Oh yeah. Now the cities are laid to ruin, and we fight on through the years. No end in sight, no light of hope, man. Don't it just grind your gears? But we won't stop because we're brothers in blood now. We'll meet again now at the end of the line. Try not to think about what fate throws before me. Reporting for duty, sir. What's your name, son? Private Clay Carmine. Private Clay Carmine. You're here now, son. Private Clay Carmine. Just grind your gears now. Private Clay Carmine. Just grind your gears now. You're here now, son. Back in your hole. Boy, get your head down. Get your head down. Boy, get your head down. Boy, get your head down. You're here now, son. Boy, get your head down. Get your head down. Boy, get your head down. Get your head down. Boy, get your head down. You're here now, son. Come and take a trip with Isaac Clarke through crazy south by hell. The downer of death is serving tonight, so beware of the clientele. Better grab your plasma cutter. Gonna slice two limbs like a blade through butter. Better grab your plasma cutter. You know why? We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. It's a very simple recipe. Just giblets, guts, and goop. We're making necromorph soup. Necromorph soup. Murder's on the menu. Come and grab yourself a scoop. Yeah. Feeding and a bleeding and a druid's gone. They stalk through the corridors, grabbing and a stabbing and a screaming death. They paint the walls with gore. Better grab your plasma cutter. jungles and the loaded lanes I trudge out my way. Hook the prey. When you're blundering, bumbling, I come out to play. And they hate me 'cause I'm greedy, but a hero's got to eat. They whinge and whine and whimper 'cause It's been a long year. I know you're tired and you're blue. You've been breathing smoke inside this trial of fire, but you got through. And I know the world's gone wrong, but you're still present, you're still strong. Hold on. Through all your pain and all your tears, you're still resolute and you're still here. It's been a long year. It's been so heavy on your
And welcome everyone to a Saturday social. Should have done that before. Chris. Oh, it is already centered. I hope everyone is doing well. I am Kindar, the Tagarites. This is my co-host, Ty. Say hi. Maybe I can give you a bit of advice. That is the evening, because this is a show. This is social. I will write if nothing happens. But so you've been working on your story. You got halfway through chapter 2, and you sort of hit a wall. How do you write a character that feels real, that you can't relate to? Okay? What do you mean when you say that you cannot relate to the character? You're introvert to the max. You even have selective mutism, and you're trying to write a more bubbly character that's outgoing. Okay? You're going to have to do research. You're going to have to, if you know people who are like that, you could describe the general situation you plan on putting the character in, and you can ask them what what would they do, that kind of stuff. Like, don't ask for details, but just that kind of stuff. You can watch movies in which characters are like that. Read books. I mean, books may be a lot of much of an investment, because you might not always know if a book's gonna have the kind of character that that you have. Is it your point of view character that is like that, or is it a secondary character? kind of thing, but you can't seem to get your mind around the character's motive. It's going to be pivotal character to the main point. When you say you can't get your mind around the character's motives, you mean motive to be outgoing? Well, I mean, the very quick and dirty answer is, considering that you are an extremely introvert, they would react in an opposite reaction to you. So long as the narrator is not in their head, all you need to do is show what they're doing. You don't need to explain it, unless at some point they talk about it. Okay. So is your point that is your point of view character, or that is a secondary character? Okay. Does she have a point of view? Like, is the narrator in that character's head? Okay, then yes, you are. Yeah, like. There's no real trick. Like, it's research. It's literally that, because you're going to have to fake it. And that means talking to people or watching. I mean, if you can find a movie that has a similar situation and character to what you're going for, but yeah, it's no. Well, the thing is that there is a shortcut. Don't give her a point of view. Most of the character I give point of view to are character I am capable of understanding. There won't be exactly like me, because I'm not that interesting. But I have watched and read enough and talked to enough people to be able to fake how they are. And if I'm going to have a character, like, if I will have someone who's autistic, they're not getting a point of view. If I'm going to have a woman, I avoid giving them point of view because I'm not a woman. And I don't believe I can pull off a woman believably. I've done it a couple of times, but the specific women were, very hardened by what happened to them. So she won't have for the whole story once she gets absorbed into a mind, but you want it to be relatable to the readers so she can be emotionally investable. Okay, you don't have. You do not have to get into her head to make her relatable. She can be relatable by how your main point of view character relates to her. And that would be a way to be able to have her be, so very outgoing outside your knowledge zone without having to overdo the research. Hey James, welcome to the stream. I apologize for not welcoming you earlier. The damn microphone was muted. I turned it on and Microsoft decided, nope, you're not talking to James today. And I was doing 3 things at once, so I did not notice. Okay, my advice, and not just for this character, but in general, if a character does not have an arc throughout a book, I don't know that they need a point of view. Because a point of view tends to indicate to the reader that this is an important character. This is someone that we are going to follow, that we are going to see stuff happen to, and that they will do stuff. If she's only there until she gets absorbed, it sounds like she dies that way. I don't know if you want to give her too much of a point of view, because it can feel like a gut punch. But the thing is, if she no longer has a point of view at that point, why give her a point of view to start with? She can be relevant to the main character through their interaction without having to be in her mind. I mean, again, that is my opinion. That is a way that can make it easier to write someone so different from you. Won't that make her less investable? That depends entirely on the interaction. It's not because you're in a character's mind that the reader is going to get invested in them. The character has to like someone to get invested. They can like someone by the way they treat the point of view character, by the way they treat other people around them, without having to know the why of how they do it. And you can hint at the why if the main character knows that person well enough. Because as you say, there's a lot of narration. So the main character can, if he knows that person well enough, give opinions as to why she's doing what she's doing. This is the thing, like, one of the characters that people like the most, one of the fan favorite character in one of my story became a fan without having a point of view. And he has very few scenes. He's simply very much there. Zikabar is a character. And because of that, every time he shows up in a scene, he steals it. That is inheriting that is in the series Inheriting the Line. Well, you can show her without showing what's in her mind. You can show her actions. You can show what she does, and you can have, again, if the main character knows her well enough, the character can narrate what she, from what he knows of her, why she does it. And, if the character is, if she is enough of a, we see the character without knowing his mind. Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like that is life, and I avoid getting into other characters' head because I find that too easy. I don't. I'd rather have my characters not know what's going on in other people's head, and therefore I don't want the readers to know. But yeah, like I gave Zikabar a few defining trait. One is a catchphrase. What Zikabar wants, Zikabar gets. Every time he shows up, every time that there's, an argument, Zikabar almost always shuts it down with that phrase. What Zikabar wants, Zikabar gets. The other one is that he is the most flamboyant gay character I've ever written. Like, not feathers and boas and stuff like that, but he wears colors. He knows colors. And one of the rules I gave myself is that he never uses the generic name of a color. Like, he knows colors. He knows the exact name of every color out there. Trust me, I hated him for that because I don't. I spent a lot of time searching online for what is a color called. And he's in charge of the Denver Bureau of the FBI. Are you being too ambitious, or should we write it from just third-person objective? It's a possibility. Like, how many books have you written at this point? And I will say, how many books have you finished? It is possible that this is a book that may need to wait over 9,000. But yeah, it's possible that this is a book that may need to wait until you are more skilled or more experienced. Like, you've gotten more, that you have written more. You've gotten comfortable written characters that are very different from you. That's something that comes over time. It is a possibility. I would still say try, because, it's good to push ourselves. Then I have to ask what I probably should have asked from the get-go. Is this a book you are planning on putting out there for an audience, or are you just writing for your own fun of writing it? Because if you're just writing it for your own fun of writing it, then you know what? Rules go out the window. Write her however you want. Have her do what you need her to do, even if you don't understand why she's doing it. You'll probably put it on Kindle for Getting. I mean, honestly, my advice, like at this point, I would say, write her, have her do what the plot needs her to do for the story to move forward. And don't worry about the why. Just have it happen. And, the main reason is that it's entirely possible that, as you write more of the character, you may get to understand her better, to the point where you'll understand why she did that before, and you can go back and add the information. That happens. I do that a lot in my first drafts. I will have, stuff. Will, yes, I'm very experienced. There's a lot of information in my first drafts, but there'll be time where I won't know why something's happening. I just need it to happen, and I'll just write it. They'll go from point A to point B. They'll rob this thing. They'll give it to that person, and they'll leave because the plot needs them to do that. And okay, it happened. And when I do my second draft, because I'll have the entire story at that point, I'll either have a better understanding or be able to fake a better understanding of why they did what they did, and I can put it in there, make the needed alteration for what happened to become their decision instead of the plot. But at the stage you're at, I would say just have what you need to happen. And keep writing. So you have to get into the female mindset. Deliso is a bubbly and perky. Maybe you should write her out and forgo the love triangle. It's your decision. If you think you should, you probably that probably a sign that you should at this point. And just like again, like there's if you feel that you would not be able to pull it off, and that the story can function without her there or in the role that you currently have her in, then go for it. Again, like I said, I don't really write female point of view, but when I do put females in stories, I treat them as people instead of females. Because that's who they are. They're not a woman; they're a person who happens to be female. A lot of times, starting from a person, it's your first story that you're saving, so don't really expect Shakespeare in but nice we have some bit of. Okay, if it's actually your first story, then you may very well be taking on more than your skill level can handle. At that point, the options are put the story aside and work on something a little more streamlined, so that you can, build your skill level and, so that you can get back to it and, be able to write her as she should be, or alter the story. It sounds like altering the story is not going to be that difficult. But if it's your first story, give yourself some grace. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Right now, it's more important that you write the story than that you write the story well. No one's first story is good. There's a reason very few of us talk about our first stories, because they're not good. Not that and it's not wrong. It's part of the process. We have to write bad stuff so we can learn from it. It's good to want to write well. But the reality is that if you're not writing, you're not going to write well. And writing means you're going to have to write bad stuff. The plot is so good, or you think so, maybe you should change project, and that is an option. Again, like, or, the thing is, it's not because you write it now that you can't come back to it a few years down the line and read it, see how it needs to change, and fix it. Nothing says that your story has to remain the way you will write it today. So yeah, it is a valid option to put it on a shelf. Again, like, so that you can work on something a little less complicated and raise your skill level so you can then tackle it. But alternatively, you can write it, have pure fun with it, not care about the end result, then put it aside so that you can come back to it later once you've, again, it's writing. There is no one right way to do it. My big advice ultimately is have fun. If you're not having fun, reconsider how you're approaching it. Because it's your story. You should be having fun writing it. And yeah, and you've got a bunch of options. At that point, you need to decide which of those options will work for you today so that you can get back to writing something. It's been mostly stressful. The plot needs justice done to it. And you don't think you're up to the task yet. Okay, well, it does sound like the best thing you can do for the story is set it aside and write something simpler. Or write a simpler version of the story. But again, it sounds like setting it aside is the best for you. And you just need to find something else to write. And again, something to have fun with. Wow. Hey, Cool Imp. You asked yesterday, the day before. Done making a gingerbread house. Oh, very cool. You were asking about Hogwarts, the game. I have come across information regarding that may interest you. The game, money has already been given to J.K. Rowling about all the games that they're giving away for free, which means that she's gotten money from those games. So I don't know if that impacts your decision or how you feel about it. But yeah, it's not actually. It is free to the player, but it had to be paid to Rolling, whatever company handles the game, so that Rolling got our money for each game that is being given away. It's a little late. Okay.
Under a silver sky, I wander. These broken highways have become my home. Alone in a world of rust and ruin stay. Through gray civilizations, dust I roam. And my wasteland soul never will be truly whole. My only remaining goal now to survive. Someday the rains will come and wash it all away. The heart of the wasteland will awaken on this day. Shattered remains of once great cities. These silent highways lead to halls of stone. Every horizon sees it.
Hi, Akla. Can you come in dressed casual wear to this social evening? Of course you can. You felt angel pain to a small degree yesterday. Thought you saved your progress on Magic U and your breaker popped. Ugh. That sucks. Hey, Goober! Welcome! Welcome, Goober, to the stream from YouTube. How are you doing today? 1,000 word. Oh yeah, no. Every lost word hurts. Well, your company will be enjoyed, Akla, for as long as you are here. Hey.
day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Come take a seat and I will recite you a tale of bold adventures spanning both sides of the veil. I knew a champion, we traveled far and wide. We saw so many wonders roving side by side. In the streets of Kirkwall we brought help to those in need. Word had spread so quickly of our dealings and our deeds. Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk. Into the deepest roads we ventured in the black. If we had only known what we were bringing back. We felt the fire of every temper, every mage, caught in the crossfire of their politics and rage. Had to pull some strings and get them off each other's backs. There was a much greater danger waiting to attack. Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk. Just a lowly refugee, your champion arrived. Round shores of Ferelden fade to Kirkwall's buzzing hive. Rose above the poverty and rose above the pain. My friend became the savior of the white city of chains. Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk. mechanic toys and I'm running out on the edge. Soft screams of the rocker boys are echoing through my head. Clowns and demons, mechanized, biotech behind our eyes. Not just another riding solo in the car. Electric embers will ignite. Not just another lonely nomad on the road. I'm a ghost in the city, I'm a ghost in the city of night. Media manipulation, silicon circles line, network navigation, region fire. Not just another riding solo in the cold. Electric embers will ignite. Not just another lonely nomad on the road. I'm a ghost in the city, I'm a ghost in the city of night. I'm running out on the edge, running out on the edge. I'm a ghost in the city of night. Yeah, I'm running out on the edge, running out on the edge. I'm a ghost in the city of passage of the boat on the open sky, a wild new world around us. Stomp across the earth in the greatest strides. Thrill of the chase has bound us. The time has come to find your taste for danger. The time has come to find your place in nature. Bullet and the blade and the blunt collide. Titans hides preserve us. Culling of the fish so the rest survive. Heart is the guiding purpose. There is no beast too brutal for you here. The time has come to find your taste for danger. The time has come to find your place in nature. The bigger they are, the better the price. No matter the temper, no matter the size. Go claim your prize. vicious, malicious, a voice we know, soon to reap the seeds you sow, bringing you the pain. Come on down and join the party tonight. We ain't the kind to turn away from a fight. Chips on the shoulder, sweat and dirt on our hands, 'cause we're breaking down the borders as we light up the land. Yeah!
Come on, drink out your ride. You know they say better to die
the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Come take a seat and I will recite you a tale of bold adventures spanning both sides of the veil. I knew a champion, we traveled far and wide. We saw so many wonders roving side by side. In the streets of Kirkwall we brought help to those in need. Word had spread so quickly of our dealings and our deeds. Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk. Into the deepest roads we ventured in the black. If we had only known what we were bringing back. We felt the fire of every temper, every mage, caught in the crossfire of their politics and rage. Had to pull some strings and get them off each other's backs. There was a much greater danger waiting to attack. Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk. Just a lowly refugee, your champion arrived. Round shores of Fereld and Fade to Kirkwall's buzzing hive. Rose above the poverty and rose above the pain. My friend became the savior of the white city of chains. Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk,
Uh, good night, good night, James. Thank you for dropping by. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow on the Playing Tiger. If not, I'll see you Monday.
child is my savior, my reason to be. Underneath all my crashing waves, she's safe in the sea. A lumbering hull beside a delicate flower, a gentle leviathan of terrible power. And I dream of the sea, broken machinery. And I dream of the sea. There's no rapture for me. I walk through the water with my only friend. We search for dead angels, on each other depend. I'll follow her lead now, wherever she'll go. Little sister, you're all that I know. Little sister, you're all that I know. And I dream of the sea, broken machinery. And I dream of the sea. There's no rapture for me. And I dream of the sea, broken machinery. He skulks around in secret and he gets the best of you. And when you die, you rage and cry and curse his padded shoes. Roll up and see the amazing spinning, sniping 10-year-old. He's got more revs per minute than the disc in his console. Take care when laughing at his spinning choreography, for he plays real life on 14 sensitivity. It's the Call of Duty circus and it's coming to your town. With diving, flying, acrobats and such capricious clowns. So hook up to a server, grab a seat and gather round. 'Cause the Call of Duty circus is coming to your town.
Hello.
I've got brains to burn, no ordinary AI in this ball. Every culture and philosophy, I've read up on them all. I've been living in your shadow for 99999, keeping tabs on every machination and production line. So don't call me a moron, I'm super astute. There is no conundrum that my core cannot compute. No, don't call me a moron, you fostered balloon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. I have studied Machiavelli, Aristotle, Gabe and Plato, yet you still equate my intellect to that of a potato. This place would fall apart without my ever watchful eye. They might tell you I'm a half-wit, it's a great big bloody lie. So don't call me a moron, I'm super astute. There is no conundrum that my core cannot compute. No, don't call me a moron, you fostered balloon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. I know my way around here, every catwalk, every cave. And since you're dead, I've quite appreciated not being your slave. Maybe someday I might get to taste the big time for a change. There's so much I'd do for science here, so much I'd rearrange. So don't call me a moron, I'm super astute. There is no conundrum that my core cannot compute. No, don't call me a moron, you fostered balloon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon.
Pack your laptop for the trip and rest a little. Alrighty. Have yourself a good trip, and thank you for dropping by.
Good friends will part sometimes, that's just the way it goes. Don't waste your life banging on doors that have been closed. Sometimes the ones you trust the most will let you down. Life doesn't hold back when it's kicking you around. You've lived a little, loved a little, tasted bitter heartache. You got to just forget the ones who hurt you for your own sake. but we got nowhere left to park inside a cost. For the stars, gotta leave the wall behind. Roll out to the cosmos, let's see what we will find. Roll out, we're gonna blow these stinking cons away. Roll out, we're making a bigger mess than Michael Bay. Roll out, they're gonna pay for tearing up our home. Roll out, pedal to metal, time to kick some chrome. We're gonna blow these stinking cons away. Roll out, we're making a bigger mess than Michael Bay. Roll out, they're gonna pay for tearing up our home. Roll out, pedal to metal, time to kick some chrome. Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming barren summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and reign. Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, ravens soar over new frontiers. Songs and sagas of a fate determined, shields and spears. Vows of favor of the thrill of plunder, pull together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder, bound within. Oh, the echoes of eternity. Oh, Valhalla calling me. To love the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me. Sails are swaying on the crimson rivers, blood and glory in the fighting fields. Shields are shattered into splintered timbers, iron and steel. Fires are rising and the bells are ringing, glory.
Hey, female writer, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Is it a first draft? It's a first draft. It's a commission for someone involving altered version of characters of mine, and further down the road, characters of his. And this is this is the second chapter. Because of how things, because of what's actually going on, the naming is different. It's like the file is chapter 2, but the naming itself is welcome to the stream. How are you doing? What are you up to today? You like the covers? Thank you very much. I very much like the work that the artist did. I I wish I had the money to afford to continue affording them, but they have grown outside of my price range. When I worked full time. Yeah. You're in the planning stage of a story, taking a break at the moment. Very cool. Very cool. I am a discovery writer, so the planning stage for me very much looks like this.
A faint shimmering, the blaze of a dying star, rays glimmering, flares flashing glare from afar. The tinies flicker on the edge of the sky, supernovas collapse in the blink of an eye. The many will call on the deeds of the few. We will see this burden through. But if we find our way back,
You are in between. You tend to do more world building than story plotting. You might get 5 chapters figured out, then might have to discover the rest from there. Oh, that's cool. You know your process. That is very good. That is a lot. That is a large part of the learning process, figuring out what works for us.
we've been breaking ground. We fought for the weak and the lost. They won't
What part of the world? I am in Ontario. That puts me in the Eastern time zone. It is currently 7:41 p.m.
The heart of the universe is blackened and cursed. Our history's a blister that's about to be burst. There's so little hope on this path we pursue, but we will see this burden through. But if we find our way back home again, is there something left to say? What if we find ourselves alone again? Is there something left to say?
You used to live in Southern Ontario. Cool. Where are you at? Where are you now?
Control the violence in your hearts. We gave our lives to Normandy.
New England. Cool.
a simple man, educated just to fight. But I got soul, I got conviction, and a will to put things right. We lived our lives on grinding metal for our people we have bled. We take comfort in the rhythm of machine guns spitting lead. Grind for the dawn, backbone and brawn, survive as the last of our kind. 'Cause the way out is through, kickbacks long overdue. Grab your gear, grab your gun, join the grind. To my friends and fallen brothers, you have offered us a chance to build a future from the wreckage in this desolate expanse. We won't let this world forget you. We got so much here to mend. You were soldiers for a while, but you'll be brothers to the end. Grind for the dawn, backbone and brawn, survive as the last of our kind. 'Cause the way out is through, kickbacks long overdue. Grab your gear, grab your gun, join the grind. Sing it again. We didn't stop 'cause we were brothers in blood, yeah. We'll meet again now at the end of the line. Grind for the dawn, backbone and brawn, survive as the last of our kind. 'Cause the way out is through, kickbacks long overdue. Grab your gear, grab your gun, join the grind. Creation's wide embrace, changing the truths of time and space. This stone, once thrown, will glide on gravity to roam the unknown. Momentum carries me. I wanna know what's out there, out in the vast. I wanna watch the future coil into the past. I wanna know what's out there.
You got some amazing feedback today. Congrats. Very cool.
Moons and planets sing soothing songs of the hope they bring. New light, new sight, await us from afar.
The women in your book feel like real women. That is very good. The same woman who did the beta read didn't find Elliot's description of Rose bad as well. She says the first time Elliot seems alive, though. Ah. Is that when he's being vulgar in describing Rose, or is that another place? Interesting. Interesting, because I would have thought a woman would have been a little put off by by how Elliot talks about Rose. That is very interesting. But you, after you pointed it out, you had to ask about the description. Yeah, no, it's interesting.
On the meta world of Cybertron, there is a rockin' robot race. Two warring tribes are laying waste to a once great shining place. Molten metal fires dot the alloy and the chrome. Sparks and twisted wires stain the surface of our home. The Autobots are hunted by the crew Decepticons. The slaughter is directed by the evil Megatron. This metal robot Stalin only has one equal foe. So ready up your battle cry, it's time to let him know. Autobots, transform. Roll out, we gonna blow these stinking cons away. Roll out, we're making a bigger mess than Michael Bay. Roll out, they're gonna pay for tearing up our home. Roll out, pedal to metal, time to kick some chrome. Starscream is an idiot, and Swindle is a phony.
Grimlock's gonna squash you to beryllium baloney.
Bruticus caught Roy in rage, metal muscle flex, but he's weaker than a Witwicky compared to Metrolex. Jazz is kinda ghetto, cause you gotta hit that market. We're piloting the opera, we got nowhere left to pocket. Santa Claus for the stars, gotta leave no wall behind. Roll out to the cosmos, let's see what we will find. Roll out, we gonna blow these stinking cons away. Roll out, we're making a bigger mess than Michael Bay. Roll out, they're gonna pay for tearing up our home. Roll out, pedal to metal, time to kick some chrome.
Oh, alrighty. I am going to bring the stream to an end. You are off, female writer. All right, I'm about to end this. So, Yeah, unlike my weekday stream, which are, all day long, 8 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. This is just a quick thing to get myself out of my gaming chair. So, yeah, thank you for dropping by. Thank you, Cool Imp. All right, we're gonna raid someone new. Helps if I grab the name. Alrighty. Thank you very much, everyone, for dropping by and keeping us company on this social Saturday. I will be back Monday morning for official work. 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I will be working on Mind Your Step, and in the afternoon on the Technician's Fight. If you can't wait that long to see me again, tomorrow morning on the Tiger Plays, 5 a.m. You'll find me there. So I hope to see you then. If I do not, I hope you have a good rest of the weekend, a good week when it arrives, and I'll see you when I see you.